I'm here with Carl Fretwell.
Hiya.
And we're at one of the practice match ploughing days again that John, Carl, Laura, Dan and a few of the other local ones have pulled together to try and educate people. And bring through. And that's not just the young generation coming through, it's anybody that wants to get into match ploughing, learn about it, or even improve your skills. You've been struggling. This is what this day is all about.
There's quite a lot of people who don't like to come out to a ploughing match. They all come to have a watch, but they don't get the kit out and come. Today is a day where they can come and have a go. There's no pressure, there's no judging, and plenty of helpers, plenty of good ploughmen on the headland to give them some advice.
And how many have you got? You've got quite a few people helping, haven't you, advising and looking at what they're doing.
I'd say there's a good 20 odd helpers, 40 odd ploughmen, so
good ratio. Yeah, good ratio. So Carl, who have we got here?
This is Richard Ingram. He's from like Tamworth area. And he's won the British Ploughing Championships on numerous occasions in the vintage hydraulic section. He's doing a demonstration plot for us today. We've done a talk on how to do a start, a split opening and start. And he's ploughing his middle plot now. And when he's got to done a few more for us, he'll stop ploughing. And at 1 o'clock we'll come back to him and discuss how to do a finish.
All right, and the finish is when they've come in and they've got that last couple of little bits to do. And it's setting that up.
When Richard's wheels are nearly are still on the top here, we'll fetch everybody around about 1 o'clock for Richard to complete his plot, to work his way to a finish, and it's basically just showing him how to do that part of the plot.
Is that the hardest part, the finishing? Well, or does it make it, obviously everything takes measuring, everything else?
It's crucial that when Richard's ploughing in like this, you'll keep seeing from time to time measuring. And this has got to be square all the way across the field.
And that's that bit here, all the way down.
All the way down there needs to be square to complete a good finish. Straight and square.
So the first, obviously your first line's very, very important.
Very important. It's all very important, but if you get your first line in straight, you've got half a chance.
You're starting off somewhere.
It's hard work then to work it straight. If you get it straight, it's simple. But then if you're not,
you've got a hell of a lot.
It's a lot harder.
So what people often ask, you say, well, match ploughing. They're marked on lots of different things. As you said, they come along first. When you go in, they come along and you do your first one. You get scored on lots of different elements.
You do. I mean, it's about whether you've fetched enough soil out and buried the rubbish.
So trash has to go off the top.
It does, and it's got to be straight. It's got to be clean, and your split openings, you've got to be well balanced. So really, from start to finish, all your furrows have got to look very much the same.
When you say split opening, does it mean one each side?
No, the split opening is what you do to make sure that all the land's being moved underneath your start.
Right.
It's like a little chip, a shallow chip, and you chip it out both ways so that all the land under your start's being moved, because otherwise when you turn your first two furrows in, there'll be some straw underneath that won't grow through. So
when they go in, the first things they do, they drop in then they reset it. Is that leveling the plough up?
Because
so first you're going into it and then they're leveling it.
It's a little bit of a bad place to show you, but on sand it's always worse going in, so they never look very neat. But Richard will have a top link that's breakable. And so it's what they call a trip top link. And he'll trip that lever as he goes in so that the plough goes in sharp and quick. And then when he goes in a couple of well, like he has done now, he'll lift it up and trip that top link back to working position.
And then that levels everything off, and that's the depth, and he's running that all the way down.
That's it, he's basically set back. As you can see, that especially in land today with tram lines and a bit of, where it's uneven, you get them little wiggles in the furrows. But basically, Richard, if you look through the length of the furrow, he is straight.
That is good, isn't it?
Like I say, sand shows every little mistake. So when you go through a little divot, the furrow will drop away a bit. Sometimes makes it look a bit wiggly, but in general, the furrow, if you look at the furrow wall especially, it will be straight.
Yeah, and the challenges you've also got then is stones.
Oh, stones, you do get stones, yeah.
I mean, it's great in some ways that it's well draining,
yeah,
and you can get onto land and we can
right.
do days like this, but obviously if it was a stony one, it can be, that can throw it all over the place.
We do get some that are challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sand in general, it's good for ploughing, but it does show every mistake.
Yeah.
Whereas you get on some stiffer sort of land, you can get away with little bits of things, you know. But this you can't.
And here's another demo plot at the event. And as Carl was saying to me, what the demo plots enable them to do is enable people to come and have a look, but they can also come back and talk, do little tutorials on what was working, how they managed to do that, other bits of advice as well. And John's been helping advise on the adjustment with the plough. They're doing the measuring the furrows over and then adjusting to bring things back in. Which is all part and parcel of learning and taking the advice from people like John.
And Carl and John are just going to have a look at a few different plots and explain some of the things that they're looking for.
It's got a curve on here, hasn't it? End every time.
Yeah, and what we're wanting is to see them all nice and uniform and all the same sizes, and whereas them they're just slightly, one's just a bit more broken than the other.
It is, but in general it's a nice plot of ploughing. But for me, what sticks out is these curves on this end.
Yeah, these upsways coming out, it just lets it down a bit.
It takes your eye from good bit to bad, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In that
and he ain't quite got through the tram line perfect.
It starts a little bit high.
Yeah, as we're looking here, you can see you want to be coming off from your start nice and gentle, whereas it's dropping off a bit too fast.
It is, especially at that side.
And just on here.
Yeah, you can see a big step in that furrow, can't you?
Not backed up enough, is it really?
Yeah.
But in general, it's a tidy enough
In
plot.
general, it's tidy.
Yeah.
Straight away, this is a lot higher than Richards, and furrows aren't the same, are they?
Yeah, they're all different size. You want them all the same size, really, don't you?
It's not as nice turned work, is it? It's not uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not as straight neither. You can see wiggles in it all the way down. Yeah.
And look at the pairs. He's coming in.
His furrows are a lot odder, aren't they?
Yeah.
And
even worse coming out the ends.
A bit worse bent.
Yeah. It's all about straightness. You know, bad ploughing straight looks better.
Straight, even furrows. Yeah. This is a classic example of somebody coming, trying to learn. They need to put into practice what we've been telling them. They've had ploughing totally at wrong angle, haven't they?
Yeah, and obviously chipped in too deep, got far too much under it, and then can't bury it.
And due to plough not being at right angle, it's rode all over the place. It's not kept straight. So, it's a classic example of, but he's having a go. He's here having a go, hopefully enjoying himself, and hopefully pick some tips up.
Yeah. See to a line, you know, how he's progressing through the day. When
you can see somebody's got him ploughing better angle, because you can see it ploughs totally wrong there.
Yeah.
And they've got him straightened up.
And he's coming into some nice furrows here.
He is making a nice job now.
Yeah. Well, he's far from straight for a start. The first thing you start and look at.
We're not trying to pull them down, but that's why they're here, to learn to get better. You can obviously see from the first one we pointed out that it's not in the right position, the plough.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect example of why they're here, people
learning
to get them to help them, like.
Yeah. Then he's coming on, and you know he's got better as the day goes on. You know it's still
got some better furrows.
Yeah, it's come on a long way.
But even that now, he needs to work on his straightness to get it straight. You can clearly see when the nice furrows, but not straight. And
everyone is just watching as he explains how he sets up for the last couple of runs to finish off your plot. So one of the things that's so important to get across, I've got a Fulton Diesel Major, and I wouldn't go to a match ploughing event because I will make such a mess.
Yeah.
The whole idea behind this is that people can come along, they can get expert tuition.
Well, hopefully.
And from that, they can make a mess, can't they?
Yeah, they can.
And they can go away, you can tell them, and they can change the settings, plough, see what it does.
Yeah, if we can help them in any way, we will do. And there's no fear of being embarrassed because they're amongst other people that haven't had a go.
Exactly.
They can come here and just crack on.
Because there's not many places, Carl, we can get this kind of tutorial. You can get the chaps coming and talking to you, or ladies coming and talking to you at the events. And giving information, but be able to go and then play and practice what you've been taught.
That's it.
Rather than the pressure of an event.
That's why I think this is a good format, because we're giving a demonstration plot before we start of how to do it. It doesn't mean to say that you're going to go straight away and be able to do that, but it's giving them some idea. And they can go away then. It does not matter if they make a mess. There's plenty of people here to help them if they need it. All they've got to do is ask. And like, it is giving them a chance to get the equipment in the ground and feel it.
I mean, there's been quite a few of these. What was it, 5 or 6 maybe? Something like that. And they're so popular. So there's obviously a need for people who are wanting to do it.
We are surprised of the uptake of it. We're very surprised. But it were obvious. It's become obvious that people were frightened to come out and have a go, and this has given them a chance to have a go. And they're coming as far from like Somerset to Kent. We can't
Wales,
believe it. Wales, all over the place.
And they don't just so they don't have that. They have something, but they don't seem to have the days where people want to come and pass on their knowledge.
That's
and keep that community alive.
It's about coming and enjoying it. That's the main thing. Because once you start enjoying something, you want to come back and have another go, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. Spot on.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, mate. Much
No
appreciated.
problem. Grand job.